Let's talk about crisis communications and PR and online reputation management. Now, how does crisis communications work? Well, generally it's quite proactive. Because you bought this course, I'm guessing that you already have a reputation issue. So you didn't have a crisis communications plan ready. In this section of the course, this specific module, we'll dive into how to prepare that plan and how to undo or at least respond to the crisis that's already emerged. So we're going to look at a few different situations. I'm going to highlight them. But the first one is, let's say you already have negative content. Or should you not respond? A lot of the PR firms, the biggest ones, we're talking, I'm not going to name names, liability, but a lot of the big firms are going to say, hey, either respond within 15 minutes of the incident, really quickly, that's PR response. Negative story, respond to it as a corporation. Or don't say anything, because they have this idea that if you respond to something that's already so big, you're just going to add fuel to the fire. We make it simple. Our firm says always respond. But just because you respond doesn't mean you have to actually respond to the claims or respond directly to the accusations or the negative article. You respond by creating content. That is our communications response. So no matter what, the next step for you is to respond by creating content. The next thing is, do we want to draft a direct response? Now, if you have a reputation crisis that's already happened, I would say no. If this has gone on for a long time, answer is no. Simply create content, suppress it from search engine result pages. All right? Because that's why this is a suppression course. People are going to Google you. That's your name. That's your legacy. We want to correspond by creating positive content about yourself, using things like third-party articles, things that are going to rank on the web. And then we want to keep moving forward, rinse and repeat, so we're not paralyzed. You've already been through the suppression kits and a lot of the content in terms of how to do that. But in terms of regular communications planning, and in terms of how do we respond and how do we speak about ourselves in general, I'm going to walk you through all of that. You want to start with the communications plan. That communications plan can be very simple. It could just be a document on your desktop, and it's going to talk about all sorts of things from A, what do you want to be known as? What is your career? What is your focus? B, who are your stakeholders? Who are people who are going to be searching you and making decisions in terms of your career, in terms of investment outcomes, in terms of investing into you as a talent or an employee? In terms of family members could also be a stakeholder. They're in our lives. Maybe your mother-in-law is going to Google you. So these are all ideas that you can weave into your communications plan. When I get a moment, we'll add a template for you, but just write down what you want to be known as, how you want to conduct yourself, and your brand tone and guidelines. So we've been through all these things. We're not going to simply just respond for the sake of responding. We're also not going to ignore it. We're always going to respond by creating content. If, for example, you have an organization or you're being slandered daily, you may want to start responding. And the best way to do that is to craft a PR holding statement. Holding statement is a separate document you can save that at any time if there's ever negative content that comes out about your brand, or you can even assume what it may or may not be if it's about to happen. What I would do is prepare a document, a holding statement, a brief statement that allows you to edit and be agile, but almost a fully formed statement that you could simply write and then distribute. Where would you distribute? Well, we're going to use our website to distribute the content. You may also want to do press releases in the future. You can use a tool like EIM Presswire to sign up with an account, create a newsroom, and issue a press release. Press release will get distributed to thousands of platforms globally. However, there is a special way to do that, to write the press release, to distribute it, and to make it look good. Because once they go out, they're very hard to pull back. They syndicate to thousands of platforms. So I don't want to delve into that right now, but I want you to understand a few concepts. So here are the takeaways. Number one, always respond in terms of a PR crisis. However, you don't have to respond directly. Two, if you're being assaulted or slandered verbally in the media, constantly you may choose to respond. Three, a PR statement is a great way to actually hold an almost completely pre-written response before issuing it. So these three things are extremely important. Number four is work on communications planning. I'm going to insert something in the beginning of the course that walks you through communications planning as well. But for now, in this very moment, I want you to start building in that robust communication strategy and starting to strengthen your brand. Who you are, what you want to be known for, who your stakeholders are, how you'll communicate, and more. I hope this video helped you, and I'll see you in the next lesson.